Hi everyone, welcome. I've got a very different video for you today because I'm going to be introducing the powerhouse, I have to say, Katherine McBean. She is a magnificent human being, and really to set the scene, because for a long time now, well over a year, I've been talking about the importance of this shift to Aquarian energy, away from Capricorn energy, which is top down, towards Aquarian energy. And Aquarian energy is typically communities, collaborations, people coming together locally, grassroots up initiatives, because that's how I knew social structures are going to be formed. And people over the last year are saying, have been saying to me, so, okay, show me what you're talking about. So here I have a brilliant example and initiative that Katherine has set up, and that's what she's going to be talking about. So just to introduce her, Katherine McBean is one of the founding members of the People's Health Alliance, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. It's very exciting. She's been aware of the need to create a people-led approach to societal living for 25 years. And her awakening started with the agricultural industry, which is where her passion lies. And for many years, she's helped with the creation of community-led projects that return power back to the people before getting involved in the People's Health Alliance. So Katherine, welcome.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Pam. It's lovely to be here, really is.
Yeah, fabulous. It's going to be just delightful for people, I think, and also very exciting to think about what we're creating for the future. And boy, are you creating it quickly. I'm astonished. So let's start with the concept of the People's Health Alliance. Let's start there.
Absolutely. So in response to the government's suggestion of NHS mandates, a group of us knew the time had come, especially with seeing evidence of the situation within the NHS for a number of years now. It's not been getting any better. And we knew where the government wanted to take this. So what we wanted to do was sort of seize the opportunity to create something new, something beautiful, something integrative that was part of a model that ensured power was returned to the people, to the communities. So we were very, very conscious when establishing the sort of basic foundations of the People's Health Alliance that we created something that would very peacefully remove that power from government, from centralised bodies, and return it back to the people. So the People's Health Alliance is very focused on creating community health hubs, and we would love to see them dotted in every single community across the UK. And it's run by the people, for the people, and very much incorporates the knowledge, the skill, the age, the essence of holistic and natural approaches to health. So for many, many years, holistic practitioners from all modalities almost have been pushed into the shadows, and PHA is very keen to ensure we bring those people back into the light, because the knowledge they have, the love they share, the approach they take to a whole healing. This isn't just about your physical well-being, it's about your emotional, your spiritual well-being as well. And we know that GPs, whether they chose or were pushed to just limit those appointments to really small portions of time, practitioners within PHA are very excited to be able to offer proper investigation, proper conversation, really create a great relationship between client and practitioner. And we wanted to do it in a way whereby each health hub, each community can create a hub that suits them. We're not here to dictate exactly what that looks like. We have created a health hub blueprint, which is available on our website, and it's completely free of charge, like pretty much everything we do, so that people have got a basic understanding there of ideas and thoughts and experiences that might work for everyone, every community. But it's down to each community to adapt it in a way that they want. And it's also a place for people to come who maybe have been isolated over the last couple of years, who are aware of what's going on and would love to meet with like-minded people within their community. But we're also very conscious of making sure nobody's left out. if somebody comes along and, you know, they're not sure, they're sat on the fence, they don't really know how they feel, we know that those hubs will allow them the space to sort of go and search out what resonates with them, find what works for them. So we're very conscious of making sure it's very much opened arms for everybody within the community.
Yeah, beautiful. This is so correct for Eris, actually, which is a dwarf planet, and it's all about non-exclusion. You know, everybody has to be included in society. So I'm just, you know, I'm just translating this astrologically for people as well. So, and what's wonderful as well is I understand that you ideally you want a mix of allopathic practitioners as well as alternative, and that each local hub, as you say, will be very individual, grown by the local people, as it were. And I understand you've got over 80 local hubs, and that's just within 6 weeks. Is that correct?
So what it is, we've got several now have actually opened their doors, which is phenomenal. We were born in April, and the passion, the enthusiasm, the love for this initiative has just, I mean, I thought it'd be popular, but it's even overwhelmed me, actually. So there's over 80 groups now established, community groups across the UK looking to open their health hub. And what's really fascinating is some are already talking about linking in local food production. Some are talking about linking in education, alternative media, help groups within their community. Each one's individual, each one is unique, and we love that. And we've been making it sort of PHA Central a very, very conscious decision to not interfere. If people come to us and they seek advice and so forth and support, we're there for them. But we're also very keen to create the new. We're not going to take the models of old whereby people are dictated to, or it's a kind of nanny situation. We really actively encourage everybody to create what works for them in their community and with their people. And we know there's nothing else like this out there. It's very organic, it's very people-led. We're certainly creating something from the bottom up. This is a kind of very peaceful health revolution. And that comes down to allowing everybody to have the space to create what they need, not what they're told they need.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, actually, because, you know, as I say, for so long, the government has been talking about the squeeze on NHS resources, and particularly the last 2.5 years, we're very well aware that a lot of people couldn't get appointments, even for quite serious health conditions. There just wasn't the availability. So we're, you know, across the nation, we're very aware of that. So this is just such a wonderful initiative to give the availability for help for health conditions right across the country, and just growing like topsy. And I also understand that a lot of new technology will be made available. I mean, it's happening, I know, in my local area. So new health technology may be coming online as well in a way that it never has before. So super exciting. So presumably, though, as people come up with initiatives locally, you can feed that back to the broader network.
Absolutely. Communication is key. We've said all along, the blueprint we've created, we will update as and when we get more information back from the hubs, because we don't have all the answers. But between us all, we'll find the answers, that's for sure. So with everything we do, it's organic. It will grow as we go. And so we've got some fantastic Telegram groups set up, which will eventually move on to our private forum. But for now, they're there. And whether you're just starting up, there's a hub, there's a Telegram group for that. If you're just starting up a hub, if you've got ideas and thoughts and experiences to share, that is then communicated through all of our social media groups. It really is about us all. It isn't just Flannel saying that. It really is about us all. And we don't claim to have all of the answers, but we do believe by the people coming together, we'll discover all the answers as we go. And that's the beauty of it, is that organic growth. It's happening naturally. We're not forcing anything. People have just grabbed this with passion. And I couldn't be more over the moon, because it shows where we all are all at, and we're ready for the new. We're ready for the fair and the equal and the kind, and just some common sense as well. And by doing it this way, we eradicate the negativity, we eradicate those that believe they hold power, we eradicate the need for any of that stuff, just as a byproduct of going forward together with this model, and allowing for people to create what they need in their community.
Yeah, it's like the old Buckminster Fuller quote, isn't it? You just get on with creating the new, and it shows what a need there is for these local hubs to have grown so fast. There really is, and there's an excitement about this because it's so reflective of the zeitgeist of where the astrology is going. And I've been saying for a long time now, certainly over the last 18 months, that we are going to have new systems. Health, education, legal, political, financial, we're going to have new systems. And here, you, Catherine, are actually beginning it, with force, which is wonderful. And I understand also that you're sort of, PHA have developed a template for other countries. You've got several other countries interested in this as well, which is incredible.
Yeah. So other countries have reached out to us. Like everything we do, we had a bit of a forward plan. I mean, people say to us, what's your next 3-year plan and so forth. And I think certainly those of us who are sort of founding members have very much taken the stance that we can have a vague plan, but actually what we're doing, a lot of it has to be reactive as to what's going on behind us. So we had to recently launch a Power of the Pound appeal to help with slight more emergency situations in a community environment. So we do have to be reactive to that. But these countries have somehow heard about what we're doing, they've seen what we're doing, and they've now made contact, and they want us to help potentially rolling out PHA in their country, which is fantastic, absolutely wonderful. And it isn't ours to own, none of it, whether it be our blueprint or anything else we produce. It is the people's, which is why we don't charge for anything or anything like that. We don't make it difficult. Everything's as easy as possible to access. And I would say to anybody from any other country, do get in contact if you'd like some support in creating a PHA in your country, because we're there to support you. But it's interesting how, and I think it shows how planned a lot of things have been, that so many other countries are in exactly the same position as we are in the UK, irrelevant of what their healthcare structure looks like. They want PHA. They see the value in returning power and choice to the people, and in the meantime bringing in those natural approaches, those balanced approaches, those incredible practitioners who have a wealth of experience and knowledge that has been, like I say, pushed into the shadows. It's time for that to come into the light now.
Yeah, it is so visionary, Catherine. It is absolutely visionary of you to have grasped this idea and just run with it so fast. And I know you've been working incredibly hard over the last few months and years to get this launched. But boy, has it taken off, with a sort of meteoric rise. But in my head, for the astrological viewers, I'm just hearing Eris in this. I'm hearing Uranus conjunct the North Node in Taurus, the human body, new initiatives for health. I'm also feeling Pluto moving into Aquarius, which is going to happen in March 2023, fully in December 24, for 20 years after that. And that is very much about the shift again of power back to local communities. And so you are absolutely in the perfect position to move forward. And what can people do? Because I know you have an initiative called the Power of the Pound as well. Would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is an appeal. It's become an appeal. We're all about the very positive and the moving forward, but there is a space that has to be addressed in terms of reality of what's happening now. And with failing ambulance services, and there's no beating about the bush, they're not doing well. Ambulance times waiting times are increasing, and there's obviously issues at A&E in terms of waiting times as well. And because we know there's people that are getting poorly within communities, and sometimes it's a little bit of an emergency situation. What we would like to do is ensure that every health hub has equipment, basic first aid equipment that's needed, including defibrillators and so forth, and volunteers within every community trained in advanced first aid that could respond if people weren't successful in 999 calls, for example, or there was a long lead time in terms of an ambulance turning up. They're not alone. There are people within their community they can reach out to who will get to them fast and stay with them, hopefully, God willing, sustain life, but be there for them so they're not alone, they're not scared. And if they can deliver some support, physical support, to help that person be more comfortable. So we see this as actually now becoming quite critical. We're going to enter, I believe, an autumn winter that will present challenges. I think those that wouldn't necessarily want to do good will be pushing some darkness, and it's up to us to be the light, because the only thing that eradicates darkness is light. So everything we do as positively as we can, with fun and with laughter, because actually those things are increasingly more important at that time. And so the Power of the Pound is a campaign that we hope everybody feels they're inclusive with. It's £1 a month donation. I mean, you can do a £1 one-off donation if you wish, but there's an opportunity to do a repeat payment each month of £1. Some choose to do more if they're in a position to do so, but we wanted to create something that wouldn't put additional pressure on people, but so they felt they could take part and support what we're doing. But actually, it's very crucial that we do get that equipment out there and we do get these people trained, so that people don't have to live in fear in their community. They know there's a support network there, and if urgent action is required, we could possibly do that and help save lives ultimately.
Yeah, absolutely, because you're also, as I kind of hinted at earlier, going to be involving doctors and nurses with their specialist training as well. It isn't just all going to be all alternative practitioners. And it really, the other thing I love about it is it's bringing back this kind of old-fashioned sense of community. You know, older people often talk about the war days when everybody pulled together in their local community and shared food and helped each other. And it's got that quality about it too, which is really literally caring for your neighbor.
Yes.
You know, in a way that we might have lost it, particularly in modern cities, modern society, where everybody's been so crazily busy and working very hard in corporate structures, etc. All of that is shifting. What we have valued in the past is not what we're starting to value now. We're moving back to the simple, to the human, to the caring, and you know, so it just has such nurturing qualities around it as well, and that's what I love. There's a real care here.
There's as much, I think, in healing a community, in us coming together and connecting, so much as it is the actual healthcare side of it, is you know, that personable approach with those that surround you. And we've watched society, and I think it's intentional that we've been separated, that we've been you know, asked to question each other, that division has been brought into play. And moving forward, that needs to be eradicated. So everything we do now is in the image of what we want to create. And it really is down to us to achieve that. And it's so achievable. It's so doable. We're proving it. We're 2 months in with 80 groups wanting to come together and create something incredible for moving forward. And we're doing it very transparently. We're doing it with open arms. Gone are the days when things are done behind closed doors, even down to our finances. We'll be several times a year publishing those so everyone can see where every penny goes. And we're doing it with a smile on our face. And I think for everything we do in building that new infrastructure, creating that new world that we want to see, we're just healing society by doing it. What the end result will be magnificent, but the process, the journey to doing that helps to heal what we are fundamentally a bit of a sick society overall. And I just see this as a massive healing process for each and every one of us. And that unity, that coming together, it is really back to basics of what makes us happy as a society and as individuals. And I think that by taking away all the noise and coming back to the basics of kindness and love and unity and community and so forth, a key to that healing and that happiness that we're going to create for the future.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. And what is, you know, what is so beautiful, and the way you talk as well, Katherine, is this sense of unity within the community, because everybody wants good health and everybody wants everybody else to have good health. You know, that whatever your political views or whatever, everybody can agree on that. And it is moving us towards unity consciousness, which is where we're going. And many people talk, including myself, about New Earth, but you are doing something very practical, tangible right now on the ground, and making that happen. So yeah, it's absolutely exquisite, and it's kind of galvanizing people, isn't it, to take action. And so can just one person contact you in an area and say, look, I'd love to start, you know, how do I begin? And they can access the template and off they go.
Absolutely. We regularly publish on our Telegram groups, and I welcome everybody to come and find us on Telegram under the People's Health Alliance, all very nice and simple. And you'll see pinned at the top, there's a number of different groups you can access, and one's a hub starting out group. So you can lean in there, but you can also see all of the hubs that are already, groups that are already created. So if there's one local to you, jump in, dive in. If you want to create your own, you start with the hub blueprint, which again is on our website. Then come and join the starting up group. And there you'll receive a huge amount of help from people that have already started, or those who have already created a hub, and they can guide you and help you forward, help you set up your social media, find other people local to you. And we have a forum that's currently being developed. We've got some groups on there testing it, stress testing it now, and that will be a greater tool to communicate moving forward. But we encourage those who aren't even necessarily allopathic or holistic healers to get involved, because it takes everybody. We've all got different skill sets. We've all got different things we can offer. And so we welcome everybody with open arms. So please don't feel, if you're not a healer, in the kind of traditional sense, that there isn't a role for you to be involved with PHA, because there absolutely is. And it's like I said, it's going to take us all. And one thing I actually wanted to ask you, Pam, is it's really, really interesting. And I've been trying to gain more and more watching your videos recently, but very much a newbie, if you like. And one thing I've noticed is the phenomenal power of the ladies that are involved at the moment within this movement. Don't get me wrong, we've got some incredible gentlemen. They're absolutely brilliant. But I'm finding that ladies are really finding their voice now. We're finding our power, we're finding our role. I don't know if it's because we're natural nurturers and healers, but it's fascinating to watch ladies who never thought they would come forward and use their voice and use their power to create this, and have the strength and, drive to create this in the way they have. But I'm just in the last few weeks just noticing this real power and energy coming through, and it's fascinating. It really is.
Yes, it's almost like a surge of the divine feminine. There's a lot of talk at the moment about rebalancing divine masculine, divine feminine. Certainly, feminine energy, loving, caring feminine energy is coming to the fore in a very big way. And I'm aware of a group not too far away from me who have formed a hub, and they set a very clear intention that they would find perfect premises. And within a week, they have purchased perfect premises. Within a week. And so, that is such a wonderful thing to do, all for free, to set very clear intention as a group that you will find the absolute perfect physical premises for the health hub that you're creating. And that starts to happen like magic, because it focuses the group thought to manifest. And we're going to get way better at manifesting as we move through the next few years. And so it's really combining that quantum understanding as well, to combine with what you're creating in a very practical sense on the ground.
Absolutely. We're amazed at what is being delivered to us for us just asking as a group. We sort of say, oh, we could really do with someone with X, Y, and Z experience. And we're all really passionate about finding this person. And I kid you not, Pam, 48 hours later, that person has made themselves available to us. It's been staggering, and the synchronicities of it all. It's just been, you're on the right track and you're doing the right thing when everything around you is supporting what you're doing, and you're putting if you can manifest it properly and put the right message out there, it's being delivered. It's not just for 6 as to how often this has now happened for PHA, and it just reaffirms as well to us that we're absolutely on the right track.
Yeah, and I strongly feel, Catherine, and you will know this too, that when you are in service at this time, not only do you automatically shift your frequency, but the universe starts to deliver. If you're in service, if you're service to others versus service to self, because that's the way we're headed with Aquarian energy. It's just like this cosmic wave which is supporting you, and you start to live in the magic zone, the magic and the miracle zone of people, premises, whatever it is, starting to turn up. And the more you kind of get on a roll with that, the more it happens. And of course, you're going to have this constant biofeedback from the local groups about what's working and what they're using, and any new technology that can be helpful, and feeding back to the whole. It's almost like you know, mushrooms, isn't it, or
Yeah.
free network, starting to just constantly feed back for the greater good of the whole. And that's what I love about this, for the greater good of the whole, for the power of the people, the greater good of the whole. And there's a sense also of, when we've had a lot of top-down structure in our society, that inevitably means a lot of inequality, inevitably. But what you're talking about, this whole concept, is much more equitable for people, whoever you are, whatever your title, whatever your background, it doesn't matter, that you can not only create but also benefit from the People's Health Alliance. And it's just a sensational concept, because it's very simple in essence, but you know, it needed somebody like you, a powerhouse like you, to actually manifest it and get it rolling. And then
Well, sorry, I was just going to say, I've had the benefit of literally decades of planning, because I was aware a long old time ago, and I realized, hang on a minute, there's going to come a time and the people are going to need to come together and eradicate the old and the negative and bring in the new. And I had the blessing of time to lie in bed for hours at a time every night for many years, just trying to figure out how you do that and how we achieve that. So it always came back to ensuring the power returned back to the people, that we decentralized that power. But not only did it come back to them, people understood how to use it and felt comfortable using it. And so I've sort of tried to bear all this in mind when helping to form the basis and the foundation and the model for the People's Health Alliance. So I have had the benefit of time, but it was always very clear to me that that's how it needed to come back, and to do it in a positive way, because I do see that there is going to be some darkness coming. We're seeing some of it, you know, but I also strongly believe in a way that it actually has to be this way in order for us to have enough of us behind it in the right manner to clear out the old and bring in the new. And like I said, the only thing that really will eradicate the darkness is the light, and we may need to ensure we bring that light, and we're doing it. It's happening.
Absolutely. And the sense of joy and simple human contact. I've said this in videos before, because of lockdown, and we were often separated, people living alone, separated from human contact. The simple joy of that human contact, of people coming together in local communities, is precious. It's incredibly precious. And it doesn't matter, as I say, what you look like, what your title is, none of that matters. We're just all human beings connecting and trying to help each other. And I just love that. There's such beauty in it. There's such heart. There's so much love in that. But also there's joy. As you say, there's laughter, there's joy. And we mustn't forget that, because that's a key ingredient in health. You know, laughter, you know, boosts your immune system massively. So we've got to bring that in as part of the picture too. And I think
it is. And I think, again, I mean, we have you know, some meetings internally where we do have to discuss some of the dark stuff, but we always make sure we finish off our meetings on a high, if you like. We laugh and we joke and we make sure everyone's had cracked up a few times, and we see the joy in what we're creating. So there has to be a balance, and we have to protect ourselves, and we have to ensure our energies are protected. But actually, we do it for each other as a group. You know, we do that for each other. Everybody's going to have days where they are struggling a bit more and things are a little bit more difficult, but it almost could cry with joy when I watch how people are helping each other, supporting each other, propping each other up in a very personal, loving way. And it is an absolute joy to be a part of PHA. For that reason alone, is just watching the love, watching the kindness, the connections, the enthusiasm. There's no competition, there's no ego, there's no negativity. You know, everyone is there for everybody else, and that is what our future societies, I believe, will look like, is that equality of happiness, that equality, that balance, that kindness. It happens naturally. And I always say to people, when you help somebody else, you help yourself as well. Because believe you me, you know, I can't say it's selfless when I help other people, because I get so much joy from doing it, and happiness, and just a real contentment from helping somebody else, because it's lovely to see the impact you can have on others. So it's just this wonderful energy, Pam. It really is. And I want everyone to experience it, really.
Yeah, and you know, the fact in such a short time it's starting its own organic momentum, as it were. That's what's so exciting. And I'm involved in a local group. And I know exactly what you mean, because if anybody was in trouble, every other single person in that group would help them. I know it. They would offer food, they'd offer, you know, support, whatever, because it's come together as a whole. And yeah, I just have to massively congratulate you, Katherine, on getting the show on the road with this, because it is going to be international. I mean, it absolutely is. I mean, can you share the countries with us that have already asked, or would you prefer not to?
No, I can share. I'm trying to remember the ones that have confirmed. So the US, Canada, Jamaica, France, and the other one is South Africa. So it's been quite broad. We've had conversations with these countries initially, representatives from this country initially, and I think again it's the energy. I think again it's the passion, and it's the fact that we're creating something bottom up and something that people haven't seen before. And also everybody sees the sense in decentralizing power and decision making, and for want of a better word, control, from those that believe they have it back to the people. And I think that's the model that speaks to everybody. People now see the models of old are gone. The models of old are done. It's time to create something new and something fair and something balanced and transparent and honest and kind. There are so many things and words I can associate with PHA now. And it's not necessarily what we've done at PHA Central. It's what the people have done. It's what the people are doing.
Yeah. And also, you know, again, for the viewers who have some astrological knowledge, the very strong aspect last year and this year is Saturn square Uranus. Saturn is the past. Saturn's to do with government, rules and regulations for your safety, etc. And Uranus is the future, but it's also freedom, it's awakening, it's equality, it's much more equitable, it's truth, and it's also community, and it's rulership of Aquarius. It's about community, collaboration, etc., etc. Now, the last square by degree, exact square by degree, not by minute, but by degree, is going to happen in October. And then after that, that square kind of breaks up. Saturn moves on, and that's good. So this year is a very important point, a pivot point, a tipping point, if you like, between the old and the new. Now, in these battles, Uranus will always win ultimately, because it's the planet of the future and Saturn is the planet of the past, but not without a struggle. And so, you know, we're in that cauldron of intensity and struggle right now. But you know, getting beyond this year and into 2023, and I think particularly from the spring onwards in 2023, as we get more Aquarian energy coming in with Pluto moving into Aquarius, we are going to see even more momentum with these local grassroots up initiatives. And as you've really hinted at, Katherine, it's starting with health, but it could well spread into education, food supplies, that kind of thing, because, you know, some food supplies are going to be disrupted through this year. And so it's really looking at a new social model in total that's grassroots. So you're beginning with health because that's the most urgent, but it's actually a whole new social model for New Earth.
Yeah. And we are working now with partners and affiliates. There's going to be an announcement quite soon on the food front, where PHA are getting involved there. We're creating an education division, and we are working with other educational groups. One thing I want to make very, very clear is we aren't necessarily going to be the answer to everything immediately. So what we do is we reach out to other authentic, caring groups and organizations across the UK, across the world, who are looking at other angles. So we're working with groups, be it politics, alternative media, education, food, coming together, bringing unity, sharing ideas, sharing resources, and supporting each other. The time for the ego and, you know, we're key, important of this, we do that, it's gone. It's time we come together and work together. And so PHA, as much work as we do ourselves independently, we do with our partners, because those things are key. And we would encourage anybody across the UK who wants to get involved, and maybe health doesn't resonate with you, reach out to us. We will connect you with one of our partners in an area that does resonate with you, so you can play a role in this as much as you want, as much as you are able to do so. And it is beautiful, but we do also encourage all the groups that we work with, they're of the same mindset. For the people, by the people. It's from the bottom up. It's about you back in your community, you as an individual. And those are the groups we align with and we work with. And it is fantastic, because I got to meet wonderful people yesterday from other groups, and we're all so supportive of each other. You know, there's no competition. It's exactly as it should be. And I couldn't be more over the moon about it.
Yeah, this is the new family of frequency. that I often talk about, but what I love about it is the amount of heart, the amount of joy, the amount of generosity, the amount of, as I say, service to others that comes in. And I coined a hashtag recently, hashtag Look What Love Built. And I think the People's Health Alliance really, really resonates with hashtag Look What Love Built, because you're building it with love, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I also think it's important to remember that as we move forward, and we do face what I think personally, this autumn, winter is going to be challenging, but I also think that what we've created, I'm going to sneeze in a minute, so apologies, what we're creating very much eradicates the pressure from those dark times, because we come together. Yes, we're facing rising, living costs, potential food shortages, all of this, which personally I've no doubt has probably been engineered that way. However, we need to remember that we have the power to change this, and we do it together. I think the whole "don't build your fence higher, build your table longer" approach is what's needed here. Almost all hands to deck, and we do it together. We do it side by side. We do it because we're humans, and we are ultimately one. We're ultimately here as a powerhouse, if you like, of togetherness. And what we can achieve of that in the darker months that come is create a beautiful, beautiful future. The light we will shine will push that darkness back into the shadows. And I think before the end of the year, we're going to see somewhat of a big awakening. And we as healers, we as those that are aware, need to ensure that we're there to catch those that might fall and bring them in. If that's what resonates with them, bring them into your community groups, bring them into your health hubs, let them know there's no division here, there is no opposition here. We're not here to fight and argue. We're here to embrace you as you want to come to us, and that you aren't going to get any negativity. And that's key, because governments and so forth have pushed that division. PHA and literally eradicating that division. Let's get rid of that. We're done with that. It's time to come together, and the unity that I think we'll start seeing before the end of the year, I think, is going to be profound.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And as I've mentioned in a couple of videos, it's easier to be strong if you're in a group that's strong. But also in my own local group, we have quite a lot of brainstorming sessions, because you can have good ideas but then bounce them off other people, and it just mushrooms into some just outstanding initiatives. It's really thrilling, actually. I feel very humbled and honored to have kind of stumbled across my local group, and it just brings me to tears sometimes. The richness of knowledge and the richness of heart that people are willing to give right now. It's just wonderful. So now, is there anything else you'd like to say, Katherine, about PHA before we close?
I would just like to encourage people to connect in your community. PHA will help you get there. Even if health isn't something that resonates with you, it does affect us all, absolutely, but for some people it's not necessarily what works for them. We aren't precious about this. Connect with your local hub group, create something off the back of it. If it's food, if it's education, whatever it might be, do so. Reach out. If you're on your own or you're isolated, reach out. You will never be turned away from your hub group. If you want to establish a hub group, get in contact. We'll help you get there. We'll help you do it. But I just want everyone to remember that this is for the people, by the people. I want to say a thank you to the incredible volunteers that are putting so much into this. There's only one. We're very, very frank about things. I've now been paid once. There's nobody else getting paid, and there are people working 40+ hours a week on this, and I want to say a big thank you to them, because none of this happens without you, the people. None of it happens without you, the people. But you've shown your mettle in the last 2 months, and that's 2 months. Where are we going to be in 2 months after that, and 6 months after that? Keep going. And in the dark times, if you feel it weighing, reach out, because there's others who will give you their light for a while, and you can then shine yours on other people. PHA are going to go international. This is the beginning. Between us, we'll all change the world in a very, very positive light. But please get behind PHA. If you're able to take part in the power of the pound, please do. It's fantastic, because that money will help others, absolutely. And yes, just a big thank you to everyone who's supported us thus far. But this is just the beginning. This is just the start.
Absolutely. I have no doubt that you're not stopping anytime soon. I have absolutely no doubt about that. So I'll put Catherine's information below for the People's Health Alliance so you can start to explore and check that out. And Katherine, just a huge thank you. I have felt really inspired, actually, really thrilled and inspired by what you're doing. And I know you absolutely worked incredibly hard over the recent months and years, but you know, thank you from all of us, because we are all ultimately going to benefit. So huge thank you. Big cyber hug to you for doing this.
Thank you. No, thank you so much, Pam. Thank you to you, and thank you to everyone out there who is doing what they can to bring the light and bring in this new way of being.
Wonderful. Beautifully said. Well, bye everybody for now. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you equally felt inspired to take action in your local area, because that's what it's all about. Not just sitting back and listening to this, but actually stepping up and doing something, even if it's just giving a small contribution once a month of £1. That will make a very big difference. God bless everyone. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.